Welcome to the show. I am extremely excited to have special guest Vash Tomanec on the show. Vash, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff, for having me.
Yes, I am super excited to have an amazing discussion today, a positive energy discussion. We were just talking about energy backstage, so vital to bring to every day. But I love to dive right in to the guest hidden edge. So share what your hidden edge is, and then we'll unpack that a little bit.
Yes, so when I was really thinking about it, what is the hidden edge? Because exactly as you say, it's hidden, even to myself. And I had to almost go back and really think from third eye perspective. And what I realized, Jeff, is this, that really my hidden edge nowadays is the focus on just one thing and going all in. Because I see so many people listening 50 podcasts, reading dozens of books, following hundreds of people on social media, but always going like dabbling, a little bit of there, a little bit of there, but never taking massive action towards their blind spot, towards their vision. So for me, the hidden edge is that I always set a big vision. I have to know where I'm going, otherwise I'm going to give up because I don't know what is the direction. If I open Google Maps, what is it asking me first? Where is your destination? So for me, it was setting a clear vision, but then understanding what is the key things that are moving the needle forward. They're going to move me closer to that vision and almost canceling the noise, because there is so much noise nowadays. You hear people, new shiny object syndrome. They throw new strategies, new tactics, new methods. But it's so easy to get overwhelmed, get confused, and as a result, do nothing or very little. So my hidden edge is really understanding, let's say, my blind spot I want to work on, or my one core strategy that will get me closer to my goals, and really doubling down, using my focus, energy, time on that. That's what I would say.
I love it. And let's unpack that a little bit. One thing I loved you said is focus on one thing and go all in. We live in the greatest time in the history of the world. We have access to information everywhere, right? But I always like to ask people, are you a librarian? Are you just cataloging the information? Are you following all these people? Or are you a warrior and actually putting things into practice? And I brought this up a couple of weeks ago to one of the men's groups I coach. And I said, if you're reading a book and you find something that grabs you and says, this is a game changer, I said, put the book down, don't read the rest of the book, implement it, and do it for the next 90 days, and it will change your life. So I love how you said, focus on one thing, go all in. Vision's important. If we don't know where we're headed, you're never going to get there, right? And so many people are kind of just adrift in the ocean. They don't have targets. They don't have missions, have that big vision. And then so much noise. I think the statistic I read a couple of weeks ago was we're bombarded by more stimuli in 1 week than our ancestors were their entire lifetime. So you that's why overwhelm, anxiety, and depression is all-time highs. If you don't put some barriers, if you don't block out that noise, I can see how that would happen. So how'd you discover, these things? Is it tell the audience a little bit about your backstory? I'm sure there was some pain involved in this process, right?
There was, for sure. So now I run 3 successful companies, but that's not even the end story, but that's the current situation. But most people don't see the backstory. So to take you back just 3 short years, I was still at university or college delivering food for Uber Eats, but not in a car, on my bike. So every day after school, I would jump on a bike, deliver food for a few hours every single day. Doesn't matter what the weather was. And basically, I had this dream, Jeff, that one day I want to set up a business. And exactly as you said, I had the courses, I had the information how to do it, but I wasn't doing it. I wasn't doing those action that was actually would move the needle forward and grow my business to the level I wanted to. I would procrastinate. I would have a lot of fears. Am I good enough? What if people reject me? All of these things. And as a result, I wasn't doing much. And I was always looking for the new tactic, new shiny object. Like maybe that person, that coach has the answer to me. The new script, that's the answer I need, until I met my now business partner who said, Vash, it's not about some secret tactic you are missing, bro. You have everything you need. The problem is you're not doing it.
Mm.
And that hit me hard because I knew deep down that's the truth. That's the truth, that I knew what to do, but due to the fears, especially certain beliefs, procrastination, I was just avoiding it. And that day I made a decision. And you said that you tell people to commit for 90 days. That's exactly what I did. So I committed for the next 90 days, not to do 55 things. I committed
Right.
to do only 3 things. One was to record 10 personalized videos to potential customers, to actually get myself in front of the business owners I want to be in front of.
Mhm.
Second is I would study sales for at least 1 hour a day to develop the skill. If we book a meeting, let me close the deal. And lastly, I would visualize the goal as already achieved for 15 minutes. And these 3 tasks, Jeff, I did every single day. And after 63 days, what happened? 630 videos, and happened nothing. No meetings, no clients, no more money in my business. But I knew, Jeff, that this is the moment that everybody is going to give up.
Yep.
Everybody is going to get discouraged and quit, but not me. I knew my time is coming. And in the next 27 days, I signed 6 clients that helped me to achieve my first goal. And from there, I just continue doing that. So that was my beginning. So 3 years back, I was still delivering food for Uber Eats.
I love it. Love the story. A couple of things you brought out: fear, procrastination, beliefs. So let's start with fear. What type of fears were you experiencing when you were starting out? Right. I love to dive into it, because we all have fear in some capacity and in some manner. So what were you facing from a fear perspective?
Yes, I wish these were rational fears, like what if somebody kills me? What if I'm in danger? But all of them were irrational. So first, English is not my first language. So I had a fear what other people will think of me.
Okay.
Second was, what if I jump on a sales call and people tell me no? I was almost as afraid as they're going to call mafia and just kill me. That's how I was feeling. But all they could say, the worst thing that could happen was no.
Okay.
So that was another fear. And third fear was, am I good enough? Am I good enough to achieve the goal? Because to give the listeners a little perspective, as Uber Eats deliver guy, I was doing probably $750 a month. And my goal was to hit $10,000 in monthly profit. So huge gap for me. And I was like, man, like, can I do it? Am I good enough? Am I worthy of this? And these, I would say, were the top 3 fears.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're experiencing those. I'm sure they lead into the procrastination, right? Of not doing it, stopping. How did you get past? Because I guarantee you 90% of people aren't doing it because of fear, because of their beliefs, but then also they're procrastinating on it for that reason. How did you cut off, make the decision, commit, go all in? What was that trigger?
Yeah, great question. So first, I see procrastination as a coping mechanism. You have a fear of doing something, so procrastination just helps you not to actually do it. So that's, once I resolved the fear, the procrastination almost went away completely. I didn't have to pump myself or just push hard. It just went away. And for me, 3 things. First, I had to set a compelling vision that excited me, because somebody's vision is to get out of debt, pay bills. Like, that's not exciting, you know? So first was exciting vision, really something that if I achieve it, I would be like, wow. Second, I needed to know why I want it, because a lot of people can set big goals, but they have no reason for it. And I tell people, obstacles are inevitable on your journey, but the stronger your reason why you are doing it, the obstacles almost get smaller in your eyes. That's how I view it. So second was, I wrote down clear reason why. Part of it was my family. Part of me was how I want to maximize my potential. And one of them was I never want to sit on the bike ever again. But it was so strong in me, Jeff, that I would go through the wall to make it happen.
Mm.
And third, I had to commit. I always ask people, are you interested or committed? Because if you're interested, you're going to do the bare minimum. And when obstacles arises, you would see, I guess it didn't work out. But if you're committed, you will do whatever it takes.
I love that. Committed, so important. And I have people that are looking to get in shape sometimes. And I used to own a gym and I got a personal training certification, nutritional coach certification, all these things. And they'll say, well, how should I start? I said, you should commit to a 5K race first. Then once you make that commitment, all of a sudden your actions will start happening, because that's the key. You can't rely on motivation. Motivation's fleeting, right? When you make that commitment, all of a sudden, all right, I've committed. Now I need to take action on a daily basis. Love, the stronger the why, the less the obstacles are in the process. You mentioned belief. So I think so many people struggle from a lack of belief, and we all do, right? It's kind of the human condition. I had Evan Carmichael on my show multiple times, and he's got nearly 4 million subscribers on YouTube. He's a big player. First thing he said was, I still struggle with self-belief, right? So it's all of us. So I'm interested to hear, how'd you get back past that lack of belief? And what are maybe one or two things you did over that 90 days that helped you really move past, 63 straight days, 630 videos, no progress, but you still had your belief in yourself to continue moving forward?
Yeah, so for me, belief needs evidence. And when we set a new goal, we don't have any evidence. Like, we've never done it. That's why we are setting the goal. And as a result, we don't believe it can happen. But I tell people there are two ways you can create evidence. First one, from your past. All listeners will find at least 20 things they did great in their life. Maybe challenge they overcame, maybe some competition they won, even in sports. Doesn't necessarily need to be connected to, let's say, if they have goal in business, it could still be some achievement from sports. And that was first thing. So I look at my past for evidence. Then second, I look at people who has already done it. So I would look at people who made their business successful in short period of time. And I would see, if that person could do it, I can do it too. And lastly, my third task was 15-minute visualization every single day. And I tell people, when you visualize, your brain doesn't know the difference between what you visualize and what is really happening. This is why you can close your eyes, visualize standing on top of a skyscraper, and your palms will start sweating. But you are sitting in your room. But to the brain, it doesn't know the difference. So I would visualize waking in the morning, checking my bank account and seeing their $10,000 profit. And I would run to the kitchen and celebrate it with my parents. And I would replay it over and over and over again until they come a week, I think week 3, week 4, when I just felt that I already earned that sort of money, that I am already a successful entrepreneur because I had so much evidence now. And that increased my belief. And as a result, what happened? I started to walk more confidently. On sales call, I started to speak more confidently. I just started to behave, think, and even feel differently just because I use visualization to increase my belief it's possible.
No, I love that. And it's ironic that you're talking about that, because literally the past 45 days, I've been working on my subconscious beliefs all around money, finances. This month, biggest month in my coaching career history. It works. Like what Vash is telling you, it absolutely works. And so many times, what our subconscious believes, and I've done some research on this, like our beliefs are pretty much set by the age of 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7, we see things in our environment, we make internal beliefs, and they stick. They are stopping so many people from achieving that next level. So, what I heard there, Vash, is just repetition. doing it over and over and over again. I 100% agree. I'm listening to my own voice, putting thoughts into my subconscious mind in the morning, at night, throughout the day. Those beliefs, you can change the thought patterns. And then to your point, all of a sudden you start to walk differently. I have a coach, and a week and a half later, he said, "What is different in you?" And I said, I gotta be honest. It is the subconscious work that I'm doing to change my belief pattern. And all of a sudden, you've got this pep in your step. You're confident. You're more courageous. You're more, up on your toes, and it's amazingly, amazingly powerful. So I love how you shared that. What from the beliefs, obviously repetition, visualizing. When you visualize, what were you visualizing? Just so we can frame that up to the audience, because I think sometimes people struggle with what should I visualize when I do it?
So let's take an example. Again, I like to do financial goal because it's something that is quite easily relatable to people. But let's just say that a person is making $4,000 a month with their job.
Gotcha.
If they receive $4,000 paycheck, they're not surprised, because that's what they expect. That's what they're used to it past X amount of years. And the same is, let's replay that your goal is already achieved with every detail. So it could be, if it's financial goal, you see the digit in your bank account. You maybe up level your the places you go for dinner, let's say, or you celebrate with your loved ones, or you buy yourself the thing you always wanted, or whether it's getting in a physical shape, you're exactly finishing a race that you always wanted, or you're stepping on a weight and you see the ideal weight you always wanted to be at.
Yep.
And you replay it over and over again, and soon the brain has hundreds of evidence that this is the money I earn, this is the shape I am in, this is the relationship I have, this is how I show up. And as a result, you will show up differently. Because I always tell people this, Jeff, the person listening this podcast is not going to achieve his or her goals. That person looks different. They need to upgrade themselves a little bit. They need to upgrade certain behaviors, certain thought patterns, certain beliefs, certain emotions to actually achieve that goal, because the Vash delivering food for Uber Eats would never build a successful business. That guy was insecure. That guy was doubting himself. The guy was procrastinating all day. That guy had to change first, and then the results follow. That's what most people have it backwards. They think once they achieve the goal, everything will change. No, you first change, and then the reality will change as a result.
No, I love that. I mean, upgrade yourself, change first, then the results change, right? And I would also say, when you change that belief pattern, when you visualize, the mind and the subconscious mind, which I love to say is a NASA supercomputer, right? Like, it's the most advanced thing.
Yes.
It is stopping you right now if you're not getting the results you want. When you change that belief, when you change the narrative internally, all of a sudden it helps you. It finds those things. It sees those things. It guides you with a force that you're not aware of. You feel it. I feel it now. And it's so incredibly powerful when you think about that. And it's fix yourself first. If there's one message probably you and I can agree on, like, don't get the tactic, don't get this, fix yourself first, because that is the ceiling you keep bumping up against. If you're continuing to work harder and harder and harder, not get there, it is fixing yourself first. And I laugh with my wife. We say, and you probably do the same, like, old Jeff versus new Jeff, right? Old Vash was the Uber Eats guy riding on his bike. New Vash has 3 companies, has this belief, has this power, has this confidence, has this courage. So it's incredibly inspiring to hear what you've accomplished and where you came from. What are a couple other things you'd love to share with the audience about your story that would be impactful and move them from librarian to warrior and taking action?
Yes, to drive the point home about this is, if I ask any person on the planet Earth that has access to internet, how do you get in shape? Every single person has an answer. Every single person know that there are few principles. If you follow, you get in a shape. But how come the obesity level is at its highest? Because it's not about what you know anymore. It's about what you do. And if you have an area, to make it super practical, if the listener has area they struggle in, just examine your beliefs there, because I guarantee it's because you have some beliefs that are outdated, that are no longer serving you. And the reinvention process we discuss, it's never ending. So once I hit the initial goal with my business, we started to hire more people and I wanted to scale the business further. So I had to embody this identity of a leader.
Yes.
So I had to again change certain beliefs about, because I was in this freelancer mindset. I can do everything myself. I can do it the best. But that wasn't serving me if I wanted to build 7-figure business, because I had to hire people.
Right.
And then again, I achieved that goal. And then I started My Entrepreneur, which is coaching company for entrepreneurs. I had to now reinvent myself again to be coach, which again, it requires different behaviors, different beliefs, all of these things. So it's never-ending process. And I believe that's what makes life exciting, that we are not stagnating, that it's not the same all the time, but we are almost seeing how big is our potential. That's what excites me most, Jeff, is like almost, where is the ceiling? Where is the ceiling?
Yeah, no, I love that fact. And I always like to say, you're either getting better or you're getting worse, right? You're never staying the same. And once you get on this path, it is a curiosity filled ride that just can light you up, because it's like today we get an opportunity to talk together and share this experience. Grateful for that. But we also get to grow as human beings. And what's one thing that we can take and implement, put into action, right? Know it, but actually do it. And then we're on that growth trajectory, and it becomes this just never-ending path that is so exciting. So I've loved the conversation. Vash, where can people look you up? Where can they find you?
Yes, so the best place is mindtrepreneur.com. That's just a mindset and entrepreneur together. And if you have any questions on me, you can find me on Instagram. You can send me DM. That's Vash, VASH _Tomanec, TOMANEC.
Thanks for being on the show, Vash.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Create a legendary day. Rise, fight, love, repeat. Get after it. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to your Hidden Edge podcast. You are now part of the movement, part of a tribe who's on a mission to uncover their hidden edge. We're stronger together, so please share this. Show up with one person in your network that you want to help. Together, we can empower others and